Hey guys, it's me Ari, and in today's video I'm gonna showcase how you can extract thousands of leads from Sales Navigator and update them into your go-to CRM. So we're gonna combine three main pillars that will be Sales Navigator to identify our ICPs. We will extract them through a custom Apify scraper, and then last but not least, of course, N8N as the full glue, as the tool that we utilize for this. So as you see here, this is just an overview of the workflow. Naturally, it starts when we click test workflow or trigger it from here. We have a specific Apify scraper here in a HTTP API node. We have a merge columns. We essentially retrieve all information from the Apify scrape, all leads, all information we need, the personal LinkedIn URLs, first name, last name, company LinkedIn, website, job title, even email if that finds it. Ultimately, if we have extracted all the information, it sends that into our go-to CRM. But let's take it a bit more slower than that. Let's actually run through this step by step. So if I go into this link, this is essentially the specific Apify scraper that we are utilizing for this system. We get sent into here, and you actually get a 24-hour free trial, and then it's billed $39 a month. But even at this price, it is way cheaper than per se Phantom Buster, which has a price at minimum $70 a month. Even though this is just one specific scraper, it's really good. And if you're only looking to extract some leads, then this is perfect. You also get free usage within $5 a month in Apify. That is amazing for you to get going. So as you see here, we scrape on search results from Sales Navigator. So if we hop into our Sales Navigator account, here I am right now, completely fresh. Let's perform a search query together. Job title, typically I just go CEO, founder. Let's also do co-owner, why not? We have job criteria, their experience, whether they are decision makers or not. We can filter here by geography. Let me just do Norway, because at the end of the day, even though we have 27 million search results here, through a LinkedIn Sales Navigator account, you can extract approximately 2.5K daily. If you don't even have this, then it's approximately 1K leads that you can extract. So it's much better to be within the guardrails and avoid IP restrictions and bans, even though this Apify scraper has proxy restrictions. So I'm in EU right now, but through Apify, I'm scraping through the US. That helps us to be within the legislation. Let's filter this down to approximately 2.5K leads or less. Industry, let's just go marketing services. And that was easy, 589 results. We're happy with this. Of course, we can find other filters, other industries. We can set company headcount. Typically for my AI BDR services, I do 1 to 50, essentially all the time. Once we're happy with this, I copy the URL from here. If I go back into my scraper, we just paste that URL into here. That's the search URL. You might be wondering where we get this JSON. Let's hop into LinkedIn again. I'm here on my main page. Be in your LinkedIn. I should actually showcase this. It all gets stated here. LinkedIn cookie ? Install this cookie editor is just a Chrome extension. Even has the field name here. So I've installed that. Let me hop back into here. I just open this, click on export as JSON. Perfect. All right. And then what I do is I just enter that into here, and here you have the value. I'm not going to delete mine because I don't have to. The great thing is that this is just for the specific scraper, so you don't have to manually update this on every search query, on every URL. You just update your URL. Why is this important? Because when you go into JSON, you have the full JSON body from the cookie scrape we just performed. It's your search URL that we just entered. Okay, we have this information entered into our Apify scraper. We can select the start page. I have it on 18 because I've been utilizing this. As you see, 12 runs. Actually, why not? Look at this. I already have 1,000 leads that I've been extracting completely free of charge, and I've set them on status yet to be enriched in my CRM. I'm utilizing this myself, and that's why I'm recording this video for you. We have the LinkedIn cookie enabled. We have the URL. We have to copy this JSON. Again, some run options. I don't tweak anything here, to be honest. If I go into manual, it showcases our proxy here, United States, how long it takes, minimum wait during scraping, maximum wait time. Start page 18, we do this on page 1. Okay, now how do we actually get this into N8N here? That's where the magic happens, where the automation sequence starts enabling us to actually have freedom and leverage on the system. Let me open this. Really easy, to be honest. Post is just the method we utilize because we use this to actually post data. We don't use this only to get something. That's in the next one. Here we press post, start the scraper from within. If I open this one, here we have retrieve, and that's a get method. That means we are extracting the information back into us. Here we post. Of course, that means we start this workflow, this Apify scraper. And the URL here, this is always the same. The only thing that's dynamic is the specific one here. So if I open up our scrape, as you see, it is this one. Okay, so this is the specific ID for this scraper. Let's just verify that. 5S4D, 5S4DP. As you see, it's the same one. And that's easy as you just change this based on specific scrapers. If you utilize the same one as I am using here, then it's identically just this URL here. Search query parameters, we don't need that. We need headers here because we have to register our API token, our API key. Typically, it's always the name, authorization, and then value, bearer. This is just the value. And here it's our specific API key. I'm actually gonna tweak on that after this because, hey, why should I have the same API key publicly for you to showcase? But of course, it's really easy to identify this. Go into settings, API and integrations, and this is your API key. So we have our API key here, copy that. Let me just remove that, NLE2, boom, NLE2, nice. JSON. This is the body. It's not set on any other strings because this is the first module essentially, or it might look really scary for you to get going, but actually it is just this. If you go into JSON here, you can open this fully. You can just copy every single information here like this. You just copy that and paste that into here. So this is the full identification of your Apify scraper, and this is the specific search URL of the query that we just entered. Actually, it's the previous one, so let me just find this. Okay, so this is the previous one that I had. Let me just enter the right one. I don't even have to tweak anything else. Now I have the specific URL of the one that we just looked at. And if I want to, I can test this step, and here you see. Now it's triggered on the right one. So essentially it just means that it has actually started a scrape. Let me double check that. Yep. So when we press test run 24 seconds ago, it's now starting a scrape. I can just abort this, but we are gonna trigger this again very shortly. Okay, so you have this set up. Just enter the full JSON with the search URL that you get from LinkedIn Sales Nav and the cookie editor that enables you to find the JSON extraction from LinkedIn. In this node, we combine two different pathways, all possible combinations, really easily set up. Nothing else than that. It's just because here, as I keep reiterating, here we start by posting, enabling the scraper to start performing, and it takes some time before the identification of the specific leads actually get retrieved into our data sets. Here we have a get method because we are looking to get the information into our end sequence. We have the same API key and authorization name on the header parameters. We have the specific URL to extract information from. The default dataset ID. This is a dynamic string. Every single scrape has a different ID. If I go into my runs here, all of them are aborted. Nevertheless, if I go into this run, I go into storage, you see this dataset ID, row 0, okay? Remember that, row 0. I go into this one, storage, IPN6, my apologies. So it's just a different dataset ID. What this means is that when we have the dynamic string, we don't have to do this all the time. I test this step and then get the information from this specific run. This takes a little while. I'm not sure if this even will work because I don't have the right URL, but it should work even nevertheless. Okay, so as you see, it actually outputted it. It took some time, but let's just check that. 236 on the output on this one. My apologies. Here we have 236 items retrieved. So it works with the specific dataset ID. We would like to have the dynamic one so that we don't have to tweak this all the time. This one, let's pop that into here. As you see, this one is the last run that we performed. Let's test this step again. It's probably gonna be empty because it has just started the extraction of information. As you see now, it has updated all information into my CRM. It's important to have the specific string here, the specific dynamic variable, so that we don't have to tweak this manually. But as I keep saying, it takes some time for the scraper to actually retrieve information. We just have a code node. Don't be scared off by this. It is actually really simple. You either use GPT-01 or the 4.0 model, or you can even ask AI on simple tasks, especially on something like clean company name. It is really easy to use this. If it is more specific, like filter by this industry, by these criteria, by headcount, some more information needed into the code, I would just use a large language model. It's important to understand what you're doing, the prompting, and you can iterate on the code snippet, but you don't have to build from scratch. Personally, I don't do that. It's important to utilize our skills and assets to the max. So it's just a code node to filter. Here, as we see, if JSON status, this is from the previous step. Let me just find here JSON status. Where is status? Sometimes I'm just blind, so I just do this. Here it is. If the status is not ready, it gets sent back. Here we have the wait node, a time interval just to reestablish this run. Let's actually put this at 1 minute. That's the best. I will just save here. And then after a minute of waiting, we have been able to extract the data. The Apify scraper has sourced the information and been enabled to run through leads. Not all of them, but at least one lead, and that enables us to actually get and retrieve the data set here and then update that into our CRM. And speaking about our CRM, I've been utilizing Airtable here. I just love their webhook integrations, their beautiful UI, and I don't have an affiliate link. Nonetheless, let's hop into here. First, we have to select our credential. Where the hell did my credential go? That's funny. Even though I have it here. Let me just refresh my page. But actually, since I don't have the credential set up, let's do this together. You can either just do this through an access token. I just do it through an OAuth. All you do is just Google Airtable OAuth integration. Here we are. Okay, so we need these credentials. Okay, that's really important. So let's hop into here. Okay. Now we're into the developer section of Airtable. Let's just dive into OAuth reference. These are the parameters that are showcased. Okay, so you have to hop into this URL, as you see, airtable.com/create/OAuth, and access your client information here, your ID. This is my ID here. Okay, so I have my ID. Let's hop into N8N. And then I will have to generate a client secret. You will not be able to see this. Here's my client secret. Essentially search Airtable, create tokens, and you will find a link that enables you into this page. Go on OAuth integrations, open that. Make sure you have the specific scopes here set on data records read and two more. The two more are even listed. They should be listed here. Nevertheless, connect my account. Perfect. Add a base, all current, grant access. Amazing. Now I'm connected. In the last step, we have to match that into our CRM and create these columns: first name, last name, status, the email address, title, company name, location. These all get pulled out from LinkedIn, personal LinkedIn URL, company LinkedIn, company website. I have some more information here that I can utilize for myself in the future to further enrich this. This is more of a lead generation methodology system, not about enrichment at this point. But with that being said, We could have had an email finder HTTP API node here that sends all the retrieved data sets into, for example, email finder. We check their website and they utilize their first and last name for us to extract and identify their verified email. Once we have that, we can also add this into the CRM. But for another day, we mix and match the specific variables that we have extracted. So first name, last name, we have first name. Here we have last name, drop that into here, job title. You can even add the email address, but that is not found at this point. Company name, do this on all of these. Location, company LinkedIn URL, as you see, company website. Here we have even job description we could add. I forgot to add that if we wanted that, but nonetheless, which one was it that I was not finding? Job title, drop that into here. When they are green, that means the information, the input from the previous step is ready for us to enable into here to get the output. And let's actually look at these leads. I can just drag and drop them into here, but now I want this to start for us. So if I test the workflow, then this will enable the scraper to start on Apify. Okay, so I test workflow, and then as you see, it starts. That means that an actor is running. Okay, information. As you see here, 18 seconds ago, boom, it is scraping. That's great to know. We just triggered the starting point. And as you see now, we are waiting because no data was retrieved. Because as you see here, we have no results as of now. It takes time for it to actually start fetching the query and extracting relevant information on all leads. So it's still waiting. Okay, now it starts again. It has fetched 3 items here, and now it goes into the CRM. Okay, so let us see what it actually enabled into our CRM. Leads 9 Central. Let's look at that in our CRM. Leads 9 Central. There it is, as you see. Leads 9 Central. Kenaz AS. Mahad, my brother. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. Nonetheless, it has extracted all the information into our CRM. Easy as the URLs, if they are found, also get extorted into here. And that's the system. We can do this at scale. Now, to be honest, I have found that it is a bit buggy in itself because it takes a lot of time for the Apify runner to actually perform the outputs. As you see, it's just only been getting like 6 results as of now. The best thing I would advise you to do is to utilize this to really get the information going, to start the scraper, and now it's running. But after it has retrieved all the data sets, like in this one, all you can do is delink this, go and connect it here. Here you can retrieve the specific data set that I just showcased to you. So if I go into storage, dataset ID, copy this. Let's just look at this. Even though it actually, I think I have put the JSON twice. Let me just check here. Yeah, I put the JSON twice. My apologies for that. Quick fix, done. Now we have the specific dataset ID for the one that we have just started. Let us check how many it has now. 10. It retrieves 11 because it just got 11. Takes some time, so let it run through that. And boom, 11 items are updated. Mahad Fjellstad was the last one. As you see, it just starts again. It starts from the first lead in the same one. Björn Vidar, Alexander, Mahad, Taral. All information, job title here, company name. We can have an LLM query, another LLM step to prompt it to remove words like AS. It's just LTD, but in Norwegian. And yeah, all information added into here. The most important one that we are missing is the email address. And I don't want to say to you that through Sales Nav, and even if you use other Apify scrapers, if you even use Phantom Buster, you won't get emails. You have to use another third-party tool such as Prospeo, an email finder, but you get what I'm saying. I really hope you guys found this valuable. If you would like the workflow, the complete JSON file, just drop me a message on LinkedIn. I have my URL down below. And with this being said, if you would like to scale your business, your operations to new heights without increasing your company headcount, I specialize within sales, marketing, and internal infrastructure automations. My specialty over the past 2 years has been AI sales agents, which essentially outperforms and makes the typical BDR irrelevant. This is one key pillar of the BDR agent system, to book you 30 to 50 appointments on autopilot. If you would like for us to work on that, feel free to book a time down below. If you have a specific request, book a time below as well. To get my bundle of 18 free automations, check the second link down below. Completely free of charge. Just opt in your email and you'll be hearing from me again. Other than that, if you have any ideas, please get back to me. I hope you found this build valuable. It was really fun recording this. And message me on LinkedIn for the workflow, for the JSON file. I am gonna be creating a community shortly, and that's gonna be free of charge for you to get access to this. Thank you so much, guys. See ya.